नहीं
Hello everyone, good evening. Am I audible? Yes, okay. Thank you, Rupam, for confirming. Good evening, Akhilesh. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen. Hi, good evening, Parag. Yeah. Let me delete all the things which I had done for the demo. This can be there. Okay, good. 9-4. Let me post the MCQ. Okay, I have added it for Baba batch, added for Tata batch as well. MCQ is live, guys. Okay. So those of you who have already attended the MCQ, do you have any doubts on yesterday's class? Yesterday, what did we see? We saw how template engine, partials in template engine, right? We saw how partials work in template engine. Yeah. How partials work in template engine, how to add them as a header, as a footer, how to separate your partials and then include them, how to iterate through array objects, how to substitute values with equal to. Okay, we then saw how to send that partial data, how to render it, how to render EJS, and then send it to your client. What your template engines are doing? Anyone? What my template engines are doing on a very high level?
Template engine, ma'am, they are sending HTML from server.
Okay, partially correct. Only HTML?
Java, HTML static content and JavaScript dynamic content there.
Yeah, on the whole, rendering a static HTML file using dynamic data in the server itself, right? Does that definition is okay for everyone? I'm rendering a static HTML, okay, using dynamic data in the server and then sending the static HTML to my client so that client need not do any complex or heavy task to render, so that you don't put too much load on your client, right? Yes. So this is one template engine. You have handlebars, you have mustache, like you can stick with one. Okay, it's enough if you know one for now. Okay, and then when need arises, you can learn. Okay, it will be easy for you to learn. Okay. Next, we saw what are the REST API patterns, right? Can anyone of you name few of them? What are the REST constraints we saw yesterday? I mentioned you like 4 to 5 points. Like I discussed the theory part. Can anyone of you remember anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dhaval,
Can
go ahead.
ma'am, uniform interface, then second one is
Correct. Yeah.
stateless, then
Yeah.
client server cacheable,
Yes. Correct.
then
Exactly.
layout system, all these
Mhm.
things.
Yeah, code on demand layout system need not focus much at this particular point in time because they're optional. Whereas the other things and all, you'll have to be very careful. Now you cannot see those, okay, because we have, if you see here, we have uniform interface. Whenever we have a server, every time you need to call only this endpoint to call your get users, right? So yes, and then your server is separate. You're not mixing up your client logic here, or your client is not dependent on your server. Okay, that is the style we were following from the beginning, just that it is also a constraint added in the rest. Okay, server is separate and your client is separate. Okay, by separate I mean not dependent on each other. Okay, and then stateless, every request which is coming to my server, I am handling it individually only. I don't have any dependency on the previous request or the request which is going to follow. Every independent request, I'm routing it to a separate thing and I'm handling it individually. There's no dependency on the data and there is no state stored in my server related to the request and all. Okay, so that I can refer for the other request. I don't have any such data like that here. Okay, I'm considering every route as a separate request and I'm dealing it individually rather than having any dependency between different routes. I'm not maintaining the state on the whole. Is that much clear? Like how to understand, like develop APIs, how to name your endpoints, how to have get met, know what are the action verbs. By action verbs, I'm mentioning the HTTP verbs, right? Get, post, put, delete. Is that topic clear? Because whenever you develop a project, this is going to be like a standard. Okay, all these CRUD operations are going to be standard. You need to know how to name your endpoints and all. Any doubts on this? Everyone is clear? Can I have a thumbs up in the chat?
Yes.
Can I have a thumbs up in the chat? Like 24 are here. Any doubts on developing APIs? Because this is pretty standard to have a server. If you have a server, you should serve data, you should handle the incoming request and respond them. That's going to be pretty standard and basic that everyone should know. Can everyone react a thumbs up so that I know, confirm this part alone? Everyone, I want everyone in the chat to react. Just add a thumbs up symbol and then leave it. If you are okay, if you have no doubts, that would be great. No doubts, okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes, Sudhakar.
in the backend, like
Mhm.
it is in front end test. It will
Mhm.
come like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Only these things. These three things are there. Like
Everything
React,
covered
Node.js,
till March 8 will be there.
March 8
March 18, this Friday.
up to 18. Then
Yes.
it will Node.js, React, APIs, then
React will not be included. Node.js, a few parts, I believe. Yeah. I need to check I have received the news to prepare the FE, but I don't know about backend.
ma'am, you have prepared the question, right?
No, not yet. that this time it's not more of design, CSS and all, more on the functional parts, JavaScript we will focus.
Second.
No, not backend. If you remember the first question, like, the first paper, the more focus was on the CSS, right?
Yes.
More on styling. Here now,
Yeah.
more on functional part, like features implementation, more on JavaScript. For the front end, I'm saying. Okay, I don't think we have backend module mentioned, but I will reach out to Manish and Lalita and then let you know if backend is included, because we are halfway in backend. I am
Backend is not written only there in the
yes, in
announcement.
the announcement it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Adil, is it okay?
Yeah,
Where
ma'am.
he didn't attend the class for last few days?
Yeah, ma'am, not available.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Yes, I think like as per the announcement, backend module is not mentioned, but they have told me to prepare to all the topics till March 18. It's contradictory, but I'll just get in touch with Manish or Lalita and then get back on that. Okay. More focus would be on JavaScript for both the batches, okay?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, more focus, even if there are any, design mentioned, any screenshot given, first implement the functional part, meaning the JavaScript, the feature, whatever is asked. Then if you have time, you can focus on the design. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with today's class. So any doubts? No, right? Amanjot, Akhilesh, Junaid, Nileshwar, Pradeep. Okay. So as of now, we were getting data from the user in form of text, right? In JSON format. Okay. But it was in form of a text format. Okay. Everything we were getting it from the user and then storing it in our, excuse me. Yeah. And then we were storing it in our file. Okay. We didn't have database connected so far. So we were storing it from in dummy file, but we were accepting data from the user in terms of JSON format, or which is otherwise a plain text, right? So have you uploaded files in Drives, your Google Drive? Have you shared videos?
Yes.
You have uploaded some content of yours in Drive, right?
Yeah.
G Drive and all. So it is accepting files from you, that's client, and then storing it in their server, and then you are able to access them. Yes. Correct. So I believe everyone have some exposure on uploading files in G Drive or in anything. Okay, have you uploaded your profile picture somewhere in all the profiles, your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook, your WhatsApp profile photos? Have you uploaded? It's a file, right? It's an image file. You are giving that, and then you are able to access it from the server anytime, even if you don't have access to that photo which you uploaded locally. If you even log into another system or another device, you will still be able to view that profile picture. What does it mean? They are storing your image in the server, and whenever you log in, your profile picture is loaded. Okay, that is a format of file. Okay, you can upload any format of files. Okay, so we are, as of now, we saw only accepting user data in the form of JSON or plain text from the user, right, from the client. Now, today we are going to see about how to accept files, right? How to accept, how to let the user upload files, and how to serve them, how to store them in our disk. Is that clear? Today we will be seeing about how to accept the files. The target would be how to receive the files in the server and then store it in our server itself. Okay, tomorrow we will see how to store those files in a cloud. Okay, so that you don't load your server with data, static data, pictures, files and all. Yeah, that is for tomorrow. But today we will see how to accept user files and then save it in our server itself. Is the objective of today's class clear? Okay. For example, I have taken a scenario. Amazon. Okay. So let me go to any product. Accessories. Okay. Okay. If you see this product here, someone should be uploading the details, right? There should be someone up as an admin who are uploading the price details, who are uploading the
Seller.
product name, the seller, yes. The seller, the pictures of the products, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Someone is uploading these details to your system. Can we have a form which is accepting these details together with the product images and then try to serve that? Okay, is the objective clear? I'm going to create a form for the sellers of for the sellers whoever is uploading these details, so that you are accepting the product name, price, okay, whatever category it falls into, and the picture. Okay, first we will see how to upload a single picture, okay, and then other multiple pictures also we will see. Okay, I'm not going to take too much data. I'm just considering the product name, price, and category. Okay, and the picture, 4 things. Okay, is that clear, everyone?
Yeah,
That
ma'am.
is what we are going to do. Okay, so I have a very simple Express server. Okay, all the boilerplate codes for the Express server. Okay, this is nothing, just forget this one. I have just defined a route to add the product. Okay, for now let's comment this. Okay, so when the user is hitting the home page, okay, that is when there is no URL or when there's no endpoint, you simply return this file, okay, a HTML file, okay, a HTML file which is going to accept product name, enter price, category, and then submit button. We haven't included the input for files so far, but this is all what you know already. Okay, so that is what I have here. Okay, I'm just, whenever the user is going to hit the home page, I am going to send this static file. Okay, this file has 3 data, input data, one for name, price, and category, and then a submit button. So far clear what we are doing in node app.js and the HTML part? Any doubt so far? I haven't included anything new. All the concept which you know already is being done. Let us run this. Let me go back to my server. So when I'm going to hit 8081, it is going to give a simple form. Don't focus on the design. A simple input tags and a submit button. Okay. Do you want me to show the code? Is anything different from what you know already? Yes, no. Is anything different from what you know already? No, right? Everything is understood? Okay.
That thing, ma'am, the file number.
This one?
Yeah.
This is the global thing. So you have 2 things. Global object, like, it will be available. The directory name of this particular file, okay, app.js. The directory is going to be till day 9. Okay. Anything after that, you will have to mention. If you try to console.log, let me console.log and show you. .log directory name and then the file name. File name will be the current file, the path of your current file. Now, okay, can you see 2 things here? One is the directory name till folder day 9, right? That is the directory, and anything inside that, if I try to print file name, that will print the current file name. So now I wanted to go the file. What is the file path of index.html? I have it here, right? So what is the path? Till directory, and after that go to client and then go to index. Is that the path of HTML? That is what I have given here. Directory. So everything till here will be substituted, and then slash client slash index.html. You can still copy paste and hard code the entire thing here. Instead, always make sure that you use these global things.
Dynamic.
Yes, yeah. So it will be correct, and readability also will be improved. Like instead of hard coding the entire file name. Understood? We have already seen this, but yeah, if you have missed it out. Is this clear, guys? Any doubts with the content I have written so far?
No, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Now this is a form. So as soon as the user submits, I should store that data in this route. Okay. What is the HTTP method you will have when you want to add a product? When you want to add a product, what is the HTTP verb?
Put or post?
Post.
Post. Put is when you edit something.
Yeah, ma'am.
Let's say you have a date, you have this product and you wanted to edit a product name. That is when you will add put. Okay. Post is when you are going to add a new product. I'm going to add a new product here. So the appropriate HTTP action verb will be post. Okay. Is that part clear? Why am I using post here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what should be the endpoint? I have already written here, but does it make sense, the endpoint? What is the resource we are going to add? If it is a post, what is the resource I'm going to add? By resource, do you understand the term resource? Yesterday I explained you. Yeah. So whatever the entity here is product. Okay,
Yeah,
if it is a user, you should mention it as /users. The resource which I am going to add is product. So when I'm going to have endpoint for that, I will have the resource name as the endpoint. Okay, this is how you name it. Okay, any other name will not be appropriate. Okay, so this is where I am going to handle the data whichever is coming from the client. Is this part clear? Okay, so but by default, let me inspect and show you console. Okay, I have a form here, right? In the HTML, I have a form. What is the default HTTP verb of form tag? Get, right? Yes, correct. So I need to change that. What is now? I am going to do a post operation and not a get operation, right? I'm going to do a post operation. So where should I mention the HTTP verb in the form tag? What is the attribute?
Action.
One is saying action and the other one, other answer? Yes, a few gave me answers, correct? Action is used to define the URL, okay, where it should go. But first place, you should change the default method. If you see here, get is the default one. Okay, if you don't mention anything, as of now, I haven't done anything change, right? If I go and submit here, so show you in the network itself, can you see the request method is get? Now I'm going to do a post operation. So I need to change the HTTP method name. So attribute which I will use to change this is called method attribute, and simply write post. Understood how did we change this method? Now, if I go back, reload, clear my console. Now if I submit, don't worry about the error, but my method is corrected, right? My method is correct. Post. Is this part clear? Post, how did I change the method? Okay. Now I am going to add a product. So what should be the URL that you should hit in the server? What should be the endpoint that you should hit? /products is the endpoint. This is where I am serving the post method, right? Only when the client is hitting this endpoint, Okay, only when the client is calling this API, I should add the product. So in the client, how will I change? If you see the default, let me go back and show you the URL. Can you see it's localhost 8080? The default is the current page itself, current URL itself. So I wanted to change it to localhost 8081/products because that is the exact URL where I am going to handle post data. So what attribute should I use to change the URL?
Action.
Yes, action, correct. Correct, Prag. Yeah. Action, okay, action equal to, what should I give here? You can either give http/localhost 8081/products. This will work, but this entire thing is not required. This is the base URL, right? The endpoint, the server port itself. That is not required. You can simply mention anything after slash. Okay, this endpoint is not required. Even if you give, it will work in the same way. Okay, this is how you change the URL. By URL, I mean this one, request URL, right? If I wanted to change, I need to mention it inside action attribute. Can we go and see now? Now if I go back, let us, okay. Now if I hit a submit, it's pending, but can you see the URL being changed? Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so I have changed the method, I have changed the URL. The only thing I will have to handle is my post API. It's pending because I am not even sending the request. Okay, it's pending, it's keep on loading. I'm not even sending the response from my API. Okay, can we handle it now? So in post call, where will these data be coming from? I mean, when I am going to give the data for these, okay, when I submit in the request, where will this data be attached? If it is a post call, where will this data be attached? It is in query param or path or body? Body, right?
I think
Body, yes. So request dot body will have the data. But we have missed one other thing. Can anyone of you tell me? Const product data, which is equal to request.body. Okay, can we try to print console.log product data and see? Okay, let me go back. Okay, let us hit the same URL. Clear this, submit, pending. The URL is sent, but can you see undefined here? Undefined? Undefined here?
Yeah, ma'am.
I am not getting the data in request.body. What are we missing here? Okay. Prag is told that it is express.json middleware. Yes, correct.
Cursor.
Correct. It's actually, yeah, a middleware is express.json and body parser.json is same. Okay, but before that, if you use express.json, you are telling that you are dealing with JSON format of data, right? That is the meaning. If I add app.use, if I add a middleware express.json, you're telling your server that you are dealing with JSON format of data, right or wrong?
Right.
Yes. But even when I have mentioned that middleware, let me go back and try to hit my server again. I have mentioned the middleware base. Okay. Even now, you are getting empty object. No, not undefined, but it's empty. Can you say what is the reason? If you have attended Saturday's class, you should know, like few of them should already know. Even if I give the middleware.json, I get empty object, I don't get the data. Any reasons for this? I'm telling the server that I'm dealing with JSON format of data only. But what is the format you are getting actually? Can we go and check that? Okay. I've told the server parse JSON data. Okay. But if I go and see the payload, the data is sent in the form of form data. Whenever you are using HTML form, your data will not be sent as a JSON. Yes, you can add a special method, make as a JavaScript object and then send it as a JSON. Okay, you can do that modification. But by default, okay, by default, your form, right? Your HTML form, this one will send data in form format. Like I'll show you this format only. It's a form data. Okay. If you go to Postman in the body, if you can see, there is none form data, form URL encoded, raw, we selected JSON, and then we gave this data, right? Whatever data it is. But there are multiple formats by which you can send body. Okay. JSON is one format. When you are using HTML form, the default format is going to be form data. Okay, can any one of you tell whoever attended Saturday's class, what is the middleware to add to accept form data? This is for JSON data. As of now, I'm not dealing with JSON data, so there is no use. Let me comment this.
Set URL encoded to true.
Yes, Abhishek, very good. Yeah, correct. So in order to accept form data, for others who didn't attend Saturday's class, in order to accept form data or form URL encoder, these two, right? Okay, similar to how we added a middleware to accept JSON data, you should also add another middleware to add form data and form URL encoded. Okay, for both of these, you should add another middleware. And that middleware is something very similar to JSON. Use express dot URL encoded and simply have this. Can we now see if we are getting the data? Now when I go back, let me go back to products here. If I try to hit the URL, now am I getting the body? Three things: product name, price, and category. Yes. Can we add all middleware? Ibrar, good question. Okay, your client should be in, your server should be in a state to accept. You should decide like what are the expectations of your client. Are they going to send you JSON format of data, or are they going to send you only form data, or are you designing a service to accept all of them based on your requirement or based on the way your client is consuming your APIs? You should add any of this middleware. If you add both, no problem. It will accept both JSON and URL encoded. It's not that you can add only one. Okay, let's comment. Nileshwar, again, this was already discussed in Saturday's class. Let me also explain again. This URL encoded has an optional option called extended, where you can give true or false. This basically means, okay, in order for your Express, okay, when you give URL encoded, what your Express will do is try to accept form data and URL encoded data. Is that point clear? Okay. When you give, okay, to parse this kind of form data or URL encoded data, this Express server uses two different libraries. Okay, if I can go here, the extended option allows you to choose between parsing the URL code data between two libraries. If you give true, QS library will be used. If you give false, query string library will be used. Okay, there are certain differences in how each of these library work. Okay, if as of now we are just accepting no string key value pairs, there might be complex data, so it is said that the QS library parses it better than query string library. But if your use case is simple like this, you can stick with the default one itself. But in many of the applications, you will see this extended true because they wanted to use QS library to parse instead of query string library. Okay, it's just the option between choosing which library you wanted to use.
Ma'am,
If
what
you
is
have-
QS library?
Yeah, it is the library used to parse the data, similar to how you parse JSON. Okay, it is a separate library. Your Express is it has two libraries, okay, to parse your URL encoded data. Okay, these are just third-party libraries which your Express server is using. Okay, in order to select which of these libraries you wanted to use, you will use this keyword. The differences of these two libraries, QS library is expected to have much features. Okay, it can handle my complex data like array of objects or object inside objects. No complex data structures, it is expected to handle better and in an optimized way. Okay, QS library is expected to work in a better way rather than query string. But for default simple use cases like ours, you can stick with the query string library itself. If you wanted to know how each library works, it's based on your interest to go and explore on how it is working internally. Okay, performance wise, QS library is expected to work better. So you will find extended to be true in all of the applications. Understood? Is it out clear, Nileshwar? Okay. Yes, is Y stands for yes or why?
No, ma'am. Why?
Why?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I am taking it as yes. Why?
Ma'am,
Why
why
I
is transfer? Why? Why?
Oh,
But yes,
okay.
transfer yes.
Okay, got it. Why, as I told, you will have to go internally how the implementation works. This works to be more optimized way, and it is suitable when you are dealing with complex objects, meaning much deeper like nested objects or array of objects. It is expected to parse your data in a more optimized way than your query string libraries. Okay, so that's the difference, nothing else. Okay, so now we have got the data. Okay, I have a mock data here. Okay, simply to, okay, I have a mock data here. Let me import that mock data. Const product mock data, which is equal to require dot slash mock slash products dot json. So this is an object which will contain products as a key and an array of all products. As of now, I have only one product. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. Where is my file? Yes. As soon as I get the product data in the form of an object like this, simply what I am going to do is I'm going to add them inside dot products dot push.
The object.
New product data, whichever I got, and simply I'm going to send posted successfully. Okay, is this, let me print the data and then, okay, is this part clear? What I'm doing, just I'm having a mock data already. I'm just importing it. I'm just adding it in memory. I don't have a database and all in memory, and then I'm doing it. Okay, so now if we go back, delete, posted successfully, my data is added in memory. Okay, everything is working perfectly. Like, okay, so far nothing new we have learned except that those who don't know this one, else everything is same. Now our primary objective is to accept files. What is the HTML form to accept files? Input type equal to, have you worked with, I believe you had CCN assignments to have type of file, right? Yes. Okay, can I have a name here as well? Because when I wanted to send it to my server, this is the key which it will use. The name attribute will have the key. Okay, can I say as product image? Okay, I'm going to accept product images here. Is this part clear? Why am I adding this tag? Okay, I am going to accept this. Now let us go back and reload. Okay, can you see no, the file input is being rendered? Now if I click that, I'll be able to upload few things. Okay, let us go and add few dummy data. 200, obviously laptop not 200. Okay, yeah. Okay, just a dummy data. Okay, I am going to choose the file. Okay, I have few images downloaded. Okay, this is I am accepting files from my client. Open, one file is added. So let me clear this. When I submit, okay, when I submit, let's go and see in our server. Okay, this is the data which we are receiving. Okay, the second one, right? That was for previous request. We are receiving product name. We are receiving 200 category, but in the product image, do you see only the file name as string?
Yeah, ma'am.
What can we do with the file name? No use.
No
We
path.
need the
No
actual
nothing.
file, right? We need the actual content of the file in raw format, in a buffer format, in a raw format, in a binary format. We need the content of the file and not the file name. Okay, and not the file name. So one change you will have to, as of now, your HTML form is sending you only the, if you see the, no, it's sending you only the file name. It's not sending you the entire file. In order to tell the form to send the entire file, you need to add additional parameter here. Okay, that parameter is called encryption type. Okay, let us go and see what that is. Okay, can you see the default value? If the attribute is not specified, it is xww form URL encoded. Okay, so even this was not there, even this is not there, the default is the form URL encoded, and that was the reason your HTML form is sending you data in this format. The default itself is this one. Even if you don't mention, it will send you the data in this format only. Okay, that's the default value. Now, if you want your HTML form to send the file data also, you need to change this to a encryption type called multi-part form data. Only if you mention this, your form attribute will send the file, else it will not send the file content. Is that part clear? What is this doing? By default, it is form encoded, URL encoded one, and that's the reason the data was being sent like this. Okay, if you can see here, the data was sent like this. In order to accept files, you should change this as form data. So far clear? Any doubts? Now, if I go and hit my URL, now if I go and reload, why did I reload? Let me clear this. Now let's see how the data format is being sent. Okay. Can you see the payload itself is not there? Meaning it is sending the file as a multi-form data. So you cannot see that here. Okay, but it is being attached and it is sending you the data itself, and that's the reason you are not able to see it here, because it's a multi-form data type. Okay, now if I go back to my server, can you see empty object here? Can you see empty here? Before request, I was receiving this object. This was the previous request. Okay, now I did not give laptop now. Let's go back and see. Now I didn't give laptop, I gave some other data. I gave this data. But in the server, I didn't even get that, empty. Okay, similar to how you mention, okay, if you are dealing with JSON format, you are giving the JSON middleware, right? If you are dealing with form data, you are using this URL encoded middleware. If you are going to accept files, because your HTML is now sending files, okay, your HTML form here is now sending you files and not form data. The type is being changed. Okay, when it is multi-part or when you are trying to send files, you also need to tell your Express server that you are going to accept files. Okay, by default, similar to how you have in Express itself, right? The middleware to accept JSON data and your encoded data, the default middleware is present in your Express itself, right? But to accept files, your Express by default, it doesn't support. You will have to use third-party libraries. Okay, we will see that later after the MCQ. Okay, any doubts so far? Any doubts so far what we have done? I have just added a new, just changed the method action, and instead of URL form encoded, which is the default, I have changed the type to multi-part in order to send files. Okay, I have done that in client only, but I need to do the same in server. We are in similar to how you tell your server to deal with JSON data or your form data. You need to tell your server that you are dealing with files using a third-party library. Okay, and that is the reason we are getting empty object now. We are not dealing with JSON or form data now. We are dealing with multi-part form data. Okay, so your Express server will not be able to parse that. You need to tell the third-party tool to use so that it is giving you empty. Okay, I'm pausing for a minute and then adding the MCQ. By this time, if anyone of you have doubts, let me know. No doubts, everyone? Please post your queries in chat, at least in a direct message if you don't want to post it everyone. See, that is the use of this course itself. You know, you can go and check there are multiple videos in YouTube. Okay, you can go and check and learn from there. But the objective of the class is to have support of doubts. Okay, clearing doubts whenever you are learning. Okay, so else it will not be helpful to you and me as well. Okay, ask doubts, clear your thing in the class itself. Even if I don't know, I'll just make sure that I deliver the doubts properly in the way you asked. It's not that no, I have everything on top of my mind. General things I'll be able to say. If it's even if your doubt is so specific, I'll be able to clear in a day or two. Okay, added the MCQ for Baba batch. 1 minute. Tata batch is the first MCQ posted.
Yeah, ma'am.
I am not able to view your MCQs in my portal.
But it was
Okay.
posted.
Okay. I think there's some reload issue. Oh, got it. Adding second MCQ to Tata batch as well. Give me a minute. You should know the differences of how functions and arrow functions work. Only then you will be able to answer this question. Read properly, think about the topics and concepts which you know about arrow functions, and then answer. In prototypal inheritance, I did tell you about what prototype is. Try to recollect all those and answer. Prototype exists only for functions. Is it named functions? Why is it not occurring for arrow functions? You'll have to know. Okay, if you have any doubts, I'll tell you in the end of the class. Okay, but let's come back. Answered. MCQ time done. Only one of you have attempted from Tata. Others? Are there only one? I see few people from Tata batch as well. Srinivas, Srihari. Answered your MCQs?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Done.
Probably it's not updated for me. Okay. Yes, got updated. Okay. I see few like, yeah, 60% is giving me right answers from Tata and 70 from, Baba. Good, good, good. Okay. Let's come back to our problem here. Okay. Earlier when I had URL encoded, I had data. Okay. Now since I have changed the type to multipart and I didn't mention multipart here, middleware to be multipart, I am not getting the data. Is the problem clear? Okay. Let's go back and search for, go to our NPM library. Sorry, NPM website. Search for, I will tell you few packages. One is called Express File Upload. You can use this middleware, okay, which is not much of readme content here. I believe it should have. Let me reload. Oh, okay. This is one library which you can use. If you can see here, yeah, you have good number of downloads. You have the GitHub repository, how they have implemented. Yes. And one other, today we are going to see about Multer. Multer is again a very popular, if you can see the description itself, it is going to support middleware for handling multi-part of form data. And there is another called multi-party, I believe. Yes. Can you see here, which supports streaming multi-party frame library? There are multiple things. Multer is a famous one. Yes, multi-party express file load is also used widely. Okay, we are going to see Multer. Okay, Multer today. Okay, how do you install a package? I don't understand why I'm not seeing the documentation. I just now saw before the class. Is this the same for everyone or only me?
No, ma'am. It's only for you.
Oh. Okay, I'm getting it now. Some catch problem, something. Okay. So yeah, we will go to the documentation and all. Before that, it is listed in NPM. So how will I install? Let me stop the server first. NPM I Multer. Okay. Yeah, I have installed. So similar to how you have all the other packages, I am going to import Multer now. Sorry, not Express. It's required. Multer. Why are we using Multer? To handle multi-part data. Okay, to accept files. Okay, from the client to accept. Your HTML is doing its job correctly. It is sending you the files. Okay, you have changed this type. It is sending you the files, but your server is not accepting it. I am going to use this Multer tool to handle it and add the middleware to it. Okay, I have installed, I have imported. Let's see what you can do Okay, I'm going to show you how to read the documentation, how to implement them. Okay, it's very easy. Follow the documentation and you are done. Okay. Installation, you cannot expect good documentations in all of the popular things. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Prag. Yes, you can handle video also. Yeah. If you can see here, installed. Okay, it is changing me to, it is telling me to change this thing as multi-part. I am done with that. I'm done with the HTML part. I'm done with importing. Okay, can you see another thing here? Multer destination. You are going to receive the file, right?
Yeah.
You are going to receive the file. You need to store that file in your server somewhere, right? Yes or no? You cannot simply receive the file and done with it. That will not work. You need to store the entire file in your server. So next time when the user is asking for the file which he or she uploaded, you should be able to give it back to them. Okay, whenever you upload any user profile data, your profile pictures in any of the profile, next time you log in, you will see the image you uploaded last time, right? So you need to serve the file which you are receiving from the client somewhere in your server. Okay, can we, instead of just putting all the files in the main directory itself, can we have a folder called my files and then put them inside?
Yeah,
Would
ma'am.
that work? A better project structure? Okay, yes. Okay, all the files will go inside files. Okay, so the destination of where this incoming files, all the files which I'm going to receive from the server client, right? The destination is going to be this files folder. Is that concept clear? Okay, so now what you have to do is, here Multer is asking me the destination. Okay, can we go and see what are the other options you can send here? Can we do that? Yeah, Multer, go down. You have the API information. If you can see, the first one is the Multer. You can pass multiple options. One is the destination which we saw. Okay, you can use that, or storage. You have file filter, you have limit. Okay, you can control what are the files you can accept. Like, let's say you are going to accept only images and not any other extension. You can just implement this function and then reject all the other files. If the user is uploading, a text file or a PDF file instead of an image, you can reject them, a filter function. We will see all those. Let's try to first accept that. Let's try to achieve the basic criteria and then try to expand further. Okay, now the destination is going to be uploads. You can use either dest or storage. I will tell you the difference afterwards. In the storage, if you can see here, you can mention destination and file name as well. Okay, for now, let us stick with this only. Okay, destination is going to be uploads for them. Okay, can we give the destination? I'm going to have uploads, which is equal to Multer. That is what it is asking me to do, right? The documentation is asking me to create an instance of Multer. Import them and then create an instance, right? Multer, in the function, you should pass the destination. Okay, now I'm going to do the same here. Multer, inside an object, I'm going to pass destination. What is my destination here? Files folder.
Yeah, ma'am.
So I can simply mention, I'm
Dot.
already in the directory. Okay, I can simply mention files slash files, I believe. Let me check.
/ files, na, ma'am. Or
Yeah, / files. This, yeah, / files, or files also will work, I believe. Yeah. Okay, / files. We have the same format everywhere. Let's use that. Destination part is clear.
clear.
Okay. Destination part done. Where I'm going to store that file parts is done. Okay, but go back. Okay. You can see here, they are asking me to add middleware. Okay, if it is a global middleware, I will use app.use. Okay, Where did I not tell you route level middlewares? Okay. Why am I telling that this is not a global middleware? Because I no need to accept files in this route. Let's say you have another route dot get dot slash products. Let us say you have another route like this. Okay. Do you need this middleware for this route and all, for this get handler and all? Do you need them? Do you need to accept files for this route or for this route? Only for this particular route, only the post data you need to accept. So you should not use global middleware. Okay, global, let us comment this. Okay, I am going to accept form data. I mean, I'm going to accept files only for this route. What is the method I told you when you wanted to use middleware for a particular route alone? What is the method? Did we not see this itself as a middleware? So you can simply list all your middlewares comma separated. Yes. All your middlewares can be listed comma separated if it is specific to a particular route alone. Okay. And that is what they have also done here. I need to accept files only in this route and not in anything else. So I need to add the middleware only for this route. What is the middleware? Go back. If you can see here, if you are going to accept single file, I'm going to accept only one file for now. So I need to add this middleware, okay, dot single, and then mention the variable name. Let's come back. Okay. Can I add it here? Route level middleware. So it's going to be upload, whatever variable I have. I have it as uploads, right? So uploads dot single. I'm going to accept a single file only. Single. Inside here, I need to mention the input parameter, meaning from the index, what is the key? What is the key you will be getting? Earlier, product name was the key for name, right? Price was the key, category was the key, product image is the key now. My file is going to be received with the key called product image. So I need to add that variable here. Sorry. This is going to be product image. Okay, I have added a middleware, a route level middleware, telling that I'm going to accept a single file for this route. Okay, and that file is going to be coming from key called product image. Similar to how you are getting other information, right? Similar to that, you need to mention the key name from where you are getting this file from. Okay, if you have mentioned this, okay, immediately, let's go back. It's telling you request.file will have your entire file. Request.body was having the content, right? It was having all the text fields, right? As of now, before it had all the text fields. Okay, similar to that, request.file will have the data. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get the data from request.body. Okay, and I'm going to get the file data from request.file. Can we try to print this and see? Console.log file data. Is this part clear, everyone? I'll repeat again. Import the library. Okay, tell the destination of where it should put your files, incoming files, right? I have created a folder called files, and I'm telling Multer that put all my incoming files inside this folder. Okay, and then I don't want to use this Multer middleware globally. I need to use it only for this particular route. So I am adding the middleware here only for this particular route. I am going to accept only single file. So I am going to use dot single method. And that file is going to come from product image key. Okay, these are the keys which you are accepting: product name, price. Okay, in the client, that is the name, that is the tag name, product image. So you should tell which is the variable that is going to point to files. Okay, and inside that you will get your file data in request.file method. These are the steps. Can we go and hit our URL and see? Let me reload. Okay, I didn't even start. Good. Oh, no. Okay. Let me start the app. Okay, let me give some random data. Choose file. I'm choosing this image. Open. Let me clear. Submit. Okay. So giving here, but let's see if we are getting the data. Now, if you see here, in line 25, I have printed file data. Can you see the entire details of the file? The file name, origin, what's the destination it is being stored, what is the file name. Yes, you can change this file name alone. Also, if you don't give that file name, it will simply put random numbers without any extension. If you see here, file name doesn't have any extension also. Okay, file extension. This is the default behavior of your multer. I'll tell you how to change that. Okay, but your path, your entire content of the file is being received. And if you see here, I didn't even mention. Oh, okay. Even if I comment this, and try to submit, you will still get this data. Okay, your multer will handle both for you, the data and the files. You need not mention URL encoded if you are using multer. But if you are going for any other libraries, you need to make sure that if it is handling text as well. If not, you will have to use. But your multer will handle. So it will give you both the body, the text content, and the file content. Okay. So far clear. Can we see it in our files folder if we have received our image? 2 times I hit the server. Can you see with the file name? Yes, you didn't get the file as a picture here because the file, you don't have an extension. Okay, let me change this extension and show you. Can you see the image which we uploaded? I'll tell you how to modify this file name, but this is the default behavior. Sorry, yeah, okay. This is the default behavior of your multer. It will simply assign some random unique values and then store it. Can you see the other image? Yeah, both the same image, okay, but it's the different thing. You hit the URL 2 times, so 2 times it is being stored. Did we get the same image I uploaded? Are we getting the file data now? Is it being stored? Everything clear? How to store? What did I do? Okay. Any doubts how it is being saved? We are done with the job actually. We have some few modifications to change the file name and some multiple things and all, but we are actually storing the files and our job is done. I'll tell you what each one of them is. Let me close all and open this one. Is this part clear, everyone? Do you want me to repeat the steps? Yes, that limits, size and all we can set Rupa. Yes. Okay, is this basic thing clear? How to download it? Yes. So this is the default behavior. As I said, it will simply assign you some random unique values and then give it to you. Okay, because you didn't mention the file names and all. Okay, if you see here, they have mentioned the field name. Product image is my field name. Yes, Praga, I'll tell you. We should mention the file filter function in the middleware. We have just used the middleware as it is. We didn't configure it based on our expectations, right? We didn't configure. As of now, it's accepting all the files, no limit in size, everything it's doing. The default behaviors are being applied. Okay, let's focus on the functional part now, and then let's try to configure it based on our needs. Okay. Now, if you can see here, I got the file name, the original name with which the user uploaded. I uploaded the file name as download1.jpg. Okay, the same original file name I got. I can also use the same file name. I'll tell you how to change that. But this encoding and all, you will get it as a raw data only, right? File content will be in what? What is the data structure will files be using? what is the data structure, or where will you store the raw data of files? We saw this when we were dealing with file streams. Anyone remember? What is the data structure when we are dealing with raw format of files? Buffer, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Buffer.
Yes, buffers will have the raw format of data. Well, all those that will be handled, by your multer itself. It will give you the type, it will give you the destination. File name I didn't give, so it is assigning some random thing, and it is also giving you the path where you can go and access after it, right? It's also giving you the entire path from the root directory where you have to go to access that file. Okay, all the path, the size of my file, everything is being given to you. Now one problem here. I have downloaded, I have received the file, I have stored the file. Okay, but how can you refer? How can you refer, like for this particular product? Okay, for this particular product, this is the file. How can I later point? Now I have stored all the content in my DB. Okay, that's all is done. Okay, let us say tomorrow I'm coming and fetching the details of this product. How will I get the files? There might be multiple files here, right? Multiple products which are being uploaded. How will I get the correct picture for this particular product? Any guesses? How will I get the, let's say I have uploaded a watch picture, right? Okay, you can upload a mobile phone, laptop, multiple products. Okay, let us say I'm going and asking the server for the watch product detail. It will give you name, it will give you ID, price and all. But how will you know from the number of files you have inside the files folder? How will you know? How can I get the correct product picture? Any guesses on what can be the solution? So this involves like just a logical thinking. What can we do?
Product category.
We need to store any data in the product itself that that this product picture is this file. We need to store that data somewhere. Yes, Rupam, we are storing it in the server. We have already done. What Rupam is saying is we can store it in the server. We have already done. Okay, let's say you have 10 pictures here. Okay, I'm coming back and asking for the details of product 1. Okay, how will you know from the 10 files available? How will you know that this particular file is for this product? Yes, Prag has given the right answer. We can
Storing
set
them
the,
in a key pair value.
that is also, if you have multiple files, yeah, key pair value, correct. Yeah, file name. And then what Prag is saying is we can set the file name while saving. Yes, Abhishek, you were also right. Right? So in the product data, okay, I have all the other data. I have product name, price, category and all. Okay, can I add, okay, can I add product data dot image URL, a key, a separate key, which is equal to, can I add the URL here, the path to my files? Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that path is going to be, where can I get the path? From file data. So file data dot path. Okay, this path is entire path from the files it is having. Can I save that here? So next time when the user is asking for this particular product, I can simply get the path and then load it for the user. Can that be done? Image URL, you can name it anything. Photo. It's just a key value pair. It is already an object, right? I'm getting product name, price, category as an object. I am just adding an extra details to it. Okay, I'm just naming it as image URL as an extra key, so that later when I fetch the product data, I also get the URL of the photo from where should I fetch that. Then I'll get the URL of these files. So instead of just adding the product name, price and category, I am also going to store the URL of the file, so that I know where I should go and fetch that image from. For this particular product, This is the file. You should have some reference, right? Else both of them will be in separate place. You will not know at later point in time. That problem is solved now. Let us have another get to just return all the products so that we know it's being added. Products, request, response, response.send. I'm going to simply send product mock data dot products. Okay, so this is a simple get request, so it's going to send all the data. Now let us go and try to post it. Now I have changed the URL and all, so this should not work. Let's try to hit again and then try. URL. Okay, I'm going to post, let's post a different picture. Now if I try to submit, let us do a get call. Can you see this is the initial data which we had already? Okay. Can you see image URL being added, files and then the URL? Is that part clear? Why am I adding just a reference? I'm just adding a reference to it. Okay, got it. Everyone clear? Can this naming is not better, right? Like let's add extensions to it so you have the image and all. Let's add that configuration. Okay, let's go. Is this part clear, guys? We are done with the downloading. Everything after this is going to be configurations only. Can we go ahead? Everyone understood? Yes. So now let me go back. What was I about to tell? Okay. Yeah, file name modification. Here you have only destination, right? Let me go back. If you can either add a destination or storage. Okay, in destination you can just simply mention the destination alone. You don't have any other configurations. Let's go back to storage. Okay, there's something called disk storage and memory storage. In memory storage is similar to how we have this const values and all. No mock product data, it is an in-memory storage, right? We don't want data, our files to be stored in memory. We want it to be stored it in our in our server, in our disk. So we need to use this method and give them two options. Okay, the first one is going to be destination and the second one is going to be file name. Okay, here they have taken the time and then added it as a suffix. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, let me, is this part clear? Okay, let me do the same here as well. Now instead of destination I need to mention storage. Okay, this storage has let's go back and I just forgot. Storage, this storage is going to have multer.disk storage. I'm just going to add it in the same line. Okay, it's going to be multer.disk storage, a function, and inside that you have two things, right? What are the options? First one is destination, which is also a function. Okay. Which is also a function. The first one is the exact request. The second one is the file. The third one is a callback. In the callback, okay, you can just mention the destination here. Earlier we mentioned only the destination, right? So you can just mention /files. Okay, and anything, any difficulty in understanding this, this is a function. Destination is a function which will accept your file data. That is this data, right? The entire data, the file data, this part. Everything will be available here itself. If you want that information also, you can add. Okay, so inside this function, you need to use this callback to mention your file. If I go and ask for callback, the first parameter is the error handler. If you have any error, what is the message you wanted to display? As of now, let's have it as null. If you want any specific message to be displayed on error, you can mention that. I am giving null because I don't want to handle error now. And then the next second parameter is going to be my destination. I have given the destination. So this should work. Okay, let's see if it's working as expected, as previous. No changes in our behavior of our code. Let's go back. P3. Okay, let me submit this. Let me try to get the data. P3 is also added. Okay, so it's working, right? Okay, it's being, let me go and check the files as well. Yes, one more file is also added. Okay, so it's everything is expected as similar before. We had only destination, right? We wanted to have file name configuration as well, and that is the reason we are using storage keyword instead of destination. Okay, the next thing is going to be, okay, destination is one thing, and the next thing is file name. So this function request comma file comma cd. Same thing. Here you need to tell the file name. What file you wanted to have it. What is the name of the file you want? User might upload in different names. But let's say you have an image called car.jpg. It's expected that multiple people are uploading the file with the same name, right? So if you have them as the same name here, it will try to override. Let's say Adil uploaded a file called car.jpg and you have the same file name itself. And Abhishek comes and upload the file with the same name. Will there be a collision? Like, both of them will be same and it will try to replace the existing file. Okay, that is the reason why they are having this unique hash kind of file name, so that multiple files do not end up with the same name. So, and that is the reason here, if you see, they have used a timestamp as the extension. Yes, you can have any unique IDs as an extension, anything will work. Okay, let's consider timestamp only, or why too complex? Let's say I wanted to call CB with the field name and the suffix, is it? Now, if I go and same way null, now here you need to mention the file name. I am going to assume the file name should be, okay, the original name, and before that I'm going to add some unique values. Okay, what unique values should I consider? Product name, and that would still, okay, let's have date only, some unique thing, okay, so that you don't end up multiple files having the same name. Is that clear? Let's have date.now alone. Let's not confuse it with other stuff. I'm going to get the date. Okay, let me name it as prefix. Okay, so the first thing is going to be my date. Unique prefix. Okay, I'll put a hyphen and then add the file original name itself, because that will have the extension and I have no difficulty in having this kind of a data. I have the extension also. Okay, so I am just going to append the file dot original name. Is this part clear? Any doubts? Why are we doing this? There is a possibility that multiple users are uploading a file with same name. Content might be different, but the name of the file might end up being same. So you don't want to replace the existing one and you wanted to differentiate. You need to have some unique identifier. We are taking the date, that is going to be unique, right? At least if they are not handling in the same second, it's going to be unique. Okay, so I'm just adding that prefix and then adding the original file name itself. Can we now check how it is working, how the file, let me delete all this. trash. Let me go back. Okay, let me upload this successfully. Let me go back to my, can you see timestamp hyphen the file name and JPEG? Now if I try to see, I have the file extension as well. Understood how to change the file name? Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Everyone, any doubts? No, no doubts. Everyone are clear. That's surprising.
Yeah, ma'am.
Achilles, yes, Prat.
Ma'am, what will happen if we have like a file name same like both? Suppose we remove that unific. Yeah, can you remove that?
Yes. I will also, we need to check that. Okay, let's go and hit. Probably let me delete this and try to hit it twice. Submit. Submit. Can you see the request is being sent 2 times? 2 times it is sent, but it is replacing it. Okay, I will also show you, let us upload another image and see. As of now, I have headphones. Let me change the picture. And then now if I try to upload, if you can see here, okay, now it's being treated as a separate. No, the name is different, right? The name is different now. Yeah,
Like we download a file on internet, it gives us one.
Yes, the name is the same now. There might be possibility that I don't think I can rename it in the downloads as well, because it will not allow me to have same name. Okay, probably let me delete this for now, and then let me rename this as download itself. Now let me go, and now this is a watch. Okay, previous in download I have headphone. Okay, let me delete this as well so that we don't confuse. Okay, now in the download name I have a headphone. I am going to upload watch with the same name. Let's try if it's replacing it. Can you see it's replaced? Same file name, it will try to replace. Okay,
Yes,
and that's the reason you will have to have unique identifiers so that you don't end up with the same, all these scenarios.
Ma'am, we
How
can
to-
put some condition like if and all inside it.
Yes, you can, but let us, why you should not allow that? Okay, there is a possibility that I and you have different file formats, but with the same file, right? Why should I restrict the user from uploading just because of the name?
Okay.
Right? Instead, I can just have some unique identifier and ignore all that. Yes, that is also a way of handling. You can just mention, for that, what you need to know, fetch all the file names, store it somewhere, check if the file name is already present. Too
Yeah.
much of work, right? Yeah.
Ma'am,
So
what if like user do not give the picture format or like some other format uploaded,
then it will be different, right? The extension will be different. So automatically the file name also will be different. Let's have that as well. Probably I don't know what image is this. Okay, so this is an Excel sheet. Let me rename to download. Now the format is different, so it should ideally not replace it. Submit it. Okay, sorry. I just made this mistake of adding it again. Let me go back. Yeah, it's treated as a different file because you do have a different extensions. If you don't have extension and then you try to upload again, it will replace only.
Ma'am, how can we check the validation? Like, if the file uploading is like JPG format or like XLX, so
Yeah.
that we
Can you
tell.
see the MIME type here for the Excel, what it is? For the image, where's my image? Where's my image? Can you see image JPEG?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you need to check it with that. What is the type of the file? You can also filter files. Let's say you don't want to accept Excel files
Yeah,
and
ma'am, restrict it.
restrict it, right? So that also you have options. File filter. Can you see file filter here? So this is a value which you need to pass into my multer, I believe. Yes. So Zest and no destination and storage was the one option. You have file filter function as well. Okay, let me go back. Let us copy whatever example they have and let's try to filter. Copy. This is storage. Okay, let's add a comma and then I'm going to add let me quickly check. This is after no. So my storage is done here. Let me add a comma. Now I need to add file filter. Okay. So you have the request again, a file again, and let us say if my file dot type. Okay. Let's say I wanted to accept images or yeah, this name is short. Okay. So if it is equal to JPEG, okay, then only you should accept. Okay. Else you should reject. This is to throw error. If you want, you can throw error, but let's focus on the functionality. Okay, so now let me go back. Let's see if it's working. Even I haven't tried. Yeah. Okay. Now this should not accept. Okay. Cannot read property path of line 45. This file was not there, right? It's undefined. Right now it's not accepting, so your file is undefined. Right? So if my file is undefined, if file data is there, then do this. This is just an exception because your file, it's not accepting files now. It's not accepting Excel file. So this is undefined. So it's giving me error here. Okay, so now it should not give error. And it should, let us delete all these things. We have to trash. Let me try to submit. Can you see any files here? No, but you still have the products and products are added. Products are added, you don't receive the file, so your file image URL should not be there. Let's go and check the image URL as well. Do a get operation. Image URL is not added because your file is not accepted. So this is how you filter files. Okay. Yes, good that you asked. I didn't have this part and all. You can also filter size, get the size data. You have the size, right? If it is more than a particular size, you have a size here. Get that size data, don't return false if the file size is greater. Okay, that also you can do. But I just wanted to demonstrate one other thing here. Okay, everyone clear? Any doubts so far with all the configurations? See, without all these also we were able to upload. These are just configurations based on your user experience, like whatever you wanted to do with that. Okay, filtering, all done. Okay, one other thing I wanted to demonstrate is, let us say all these are static files, right? All these are static files. So tomorrow, when the path is being, when the get operation, when the path is being sent and the client can request for the images, right? You have the path with me. I have the path with me, so I can simply request for that path, right? So instead of files, can I rename this as public and then use app dot use express dot static public? Can we do this? So now whatever the user is adding, it will be as available in the client as well. You can simply go and give the URL and then you can do it. Understood what we are doing in this line? We had an entire class on how to serve static files. Image is a static file, right? Instead of putting it in files, I can put that in public and then just I can serve that to the clients. Instead of routing it for individual images, I can just put them in a public folder and then I can serve it to the client. Can I do this? Everyone understood this part? Can we now go and see the upload images and see if I am able to, let me go back. Okay, instead of now, it's not going to accept my Excel files. So I'm going to upload now, submit. Okay, files, download.
File name changed to public.
Okay. I need to store in public. Now my destination is going to be public, right? So, okay, now it's posted. Let us go and get all the data. I have the image URL, right? Image URL. So if it is inside the public folder, can I copy this and then just, will I get the data?
Yeah.
Everyone knows this, right? Just know we are clubbing all the concepts we have seen in Express so far. Okay, all the data, server data is being served to the client now. Understood? Can we try to display it in our index page itself? Okay, below this form, can we add a script to fetch all the products? And if the product has images, can we try to display them in the index? Can we try to request from the client the images which are there in the server now? Can we do that? That is the ultimate case, right? Like when the client is uploading some file, okay, he or she should be able to retrieve it from the server. As of now, we are able to retrieve it with the URL. Can we do that and display in below here? Yes, you can have a separate page to view all the profiles. Okay, can we do it in the same file?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, how the client is going to request the data which is already present. We have seen how to store data now, how to get it, how to retrieve the data which is already there in the server. As of now, we are doing it with the URL itself, direct URL. Now I'm going to add a script tag. Correct, right? Like, why is it not giving me the... Okay. Now, can I have a function to get data? Okay. Inside, can I use fetch now? This is client now, plain JavaScript. How will you request data from the client? Fetch / products. What will this fetch return? Promise. Yes, I know you should have forgotten few of the concepts. Let's revise. Okay, this fetch is going to return promise. Can I use await? Can I make this function async? Okay, so now I got all the products data. Can we print the data and see first? Console.log
Product.
products. I'm just making a call to the server from client. I'm just requesting the data. I have an URL, right? Get handler, simply it will return all the data. I am just calling that URL, that API from client side, and then trying to print that. Okay, I have a function, but I should call them, right? So get data. Can we now try to reload this file in our thing and see? Okay, it's not returning anything. Yes, but let's see the console. Can you see response body and all? What do you need to do? What is the next step here? I'm just using a fetch here. What's the next step? Forgot everyone? It is returning a response. How do I make it to a JSON object? Product response. Product response dot JSON. Do everyone remember this? Any doubts on this part? Why are we doing it? If you see the response, it is a response object. You need to get this readable stream data. You need to use .json method. Clear? No? Any doubts in this? Entire silence I get. One other thing, it's also an async process. Use a wait keyword. So it will just wait for your entire process to be completed. Reload. Now do we get the data? Now do we have image URL?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can we just try to display the data in the page itself?
Yeah.
Iterate and then fetch, print, try to print them. Let us have a div tag. Okay, let's have a div tag and let's have an ID, products. Okay, products. So what I'm going to do is I have all the product data. I am going to const product element, which is going to be document dot get element by ID products. Okay, so I'm going to create images and then check if each of my product has images, and then I'm going to iterate through each of the image URL and then going to append it to my product element. You know all of these. Let me know if you get any doubt in between. Okay, I am just going to iterate through all of my products for each. Yeah. Product. So each of the product, let's create element, new element, which is document dot create element. Let me create a div. Okay, in each div I'm just going to add data, new element dot value or text, inner text. Okay, inner text is going to be product dot name. So now let's have name only. Okay, name, and then together with that, let us create an image now. Const. First, for that, we should check if the product has image URL, because some products might be there without image URL as well. If it has, then create const image tag. Yes, without React, it's kind of tedious process to create elements. And then, yeah, I'm going to create image tag, image tag dot source is going to be, what is the source now? What is the source now? Product.image URL is the source.
Yes.
Yes. So before that, you need to add the URL as well, I believe. Let's check with that and then come back. 8081. And then, okay. Will this be correct? Let's see that. But after creating this image tag, you should append it to this element, right? So element dot append child image tag. After append it to the root as well. Dot append child, this new element. This image is going to be huge, I believe. Let's add width, which is equal to 500. Any doubts with what I have done here? Added a dummy ID, getting that reference. Okay. For each of the product, I'm creating a div so that product name is displayed. Okay. And for each of the product, I'm checking if it has an image URL. I'm creating an image tag, adding source and width to it, appending it to this new element, and then appending the entire element inside my root, this tag. Is this process clear? Everything is already known. Let us go and check first. I reload. Okay, I get an undefined. Why undefined? We will have to check. Yeah. Okay, it's product name. Did we give that correctly? No. Name is done. Only for P3 I have image. Let us see what's the issue here. I think we have public and download, right? We don't have slash here. Now if I go back. Okay. Can you know the issue? Understand the issue here? This public should not be there. Okay, you can simply request for download.jpg and then you will get it. So ideally what you should do is have the path as only okay. So instead of having the entire path, what I'm going to have is have only the file name. Okay, as the image URL. Okay, now do you understand why I'm changing here? I need my path to be just slash the name of my image, nothing else. So now if I try to reload, let's add something and then check. This part, download.jpg, upload. Okay. Can you see the image being rendered? Yes, it's huge. Let's try to reduce the size. Understood what we are doing? Yeah, yes, don't check the CSS part alone. But the functionality wise, we are able to retrieve the content from the client. Okay. I uploaded first. Now I'm requesting the uploaded data already. Can we keep on adding it and check if I am able to get that? Let me add any other. This is also JPEG. Okay. File. Can you see the new thing which I uploaded came in? How you display and all, it's up to you. But functionality we have achieved. Any doubts with this part? All these, you know, I'm just requesting the get. Okay. I know the URL. Okay. So with that, I'm going to use this. Any doubts with this part, guys? How I'm requesting? And then printing the data. So our job is done. From the client, I'm able to upload, and from from the client, I'm able to request as well the files. Any doubts? Any doubts? No? Others? Clear? Everyone? This part was a bit fast, I know, but yeah, it's pretty standard. I believe you should know all these. There are multiple ways to do this. Yes. Yeah. Can we see one other variation? What if I can accept only one thing? Okay, I will finish it very soon. One thing. What if I can accept multiple files? If you can see here, this will not allow me to select more than one file. I'm just trying to select more than one file. It's not allowing me. Okay, because it's only one file tag. Okay, if you wanted to upload multiple files, you should go and add multiple here. Okay, you should go and add multiple here. When your multer is accepting multiple files, instead of single, you need to mention, let me go back. Where is the first one? Yes. You need to mention, it's a multiple file, right? So you need to mention an array and the same variable name and how many files. Just because it's multiple, you cannot be accepting hundreds of files, right? Okay. So change this particular, let me add a comment and then add other stuff. Okay. So instead of this part, you need to mention uploads dot array. Now this is an array, multiple file. Okay, same name, product image. Okay, let us say I wanted to accept a maximum of 3 files. Okay, so now instead of file, my data will be in const dot file data, which is going to be request dot files now. You have file and files. If you want to accept multiple files, you need to use this. Can we try to print that alone and see? Okay, this part is not necessary. Let's see what it is going to print. Okay, now understood the changes I made. I just added multiple tag here. In order to accept multiple, you should mention array, same variable name, and how many files you can accept. Okay, and inside, instead of getting it from file, you should get it from dot files. So let me go back and reload my page. Okay, as of now, P1 is there, so it's being printed. For one product, I can have multiple images, no? Standard use case only. Category. Now I'm going to choose multiple files. This one, and okay, let's try to upload 2 and see. Okay, 2 files chosen. Submit. Yes, successful. But let's see the data which is getting printed here. Earlier, in line 48, earlier when I printed, only one object was printed, right? So now it is an array, correct? So you will see 2 images I have uploaded, whatever I uploaded. One was earlier one, the bottle earlier I uploaded, and all the 2 images which I, let me clear and show you. Let me delete and show you. Go back, just try to upload this. Can you see download and download 2, all the 2 files being uploaded? And the details, file details and all, you will get it as an array. Okay, now this file data is an array now. You can simply cannot do this. Okay, you need to have an array of data. You need to iterate through this file data and load your image URL also as an array instead of plain string. Earlier, we had only one file, so we were storing it as a plain string. Now we have multiple images, so store it as an array of strings. Iterate through file data, that and all you'll do, no? Understood it? This is an array. Iterate through each of these, get the path name, and then store it in image URL. And understood? Yeah, I think that you can do it. Okay, just iteration part, you can do it. This is an array now instead of an object. Understood how to get multiple data? Just a simple change. Let us say, you are going to get product images in one page. Okay, product images in one page and seller profile images, like seller profile images. Okay, let's say there is a use case. Okay, you are also having another field, separate field, not the product field itself, another input tag similar to this. In that case, it is going to be multiple fields, right? It's going to be multiple fields. So in that case, what you need to do is, you should, instead of dot array, you should mention dot fields and mention all the fields now. Avatar is one file upload. Okay. Let's say you have another gallery where you can upload as eight files. Okay. From avatar, it will accept only one file. From gallery field, it will accept maximum of 8 fields. Understood the use case here? As of now, I have only one field of file. Let's say I have two things. Okay. In order to get that, you need to use fields and then mention the file name and the count for each of the field. Okay. So again, inside how you will get, again, my files is an array. So yeah, this is all you can do it. Everything cannot be taught, work on this part. Okay, everything else is similar. Just how you are getting, again, you're getting it in request.files only. Everything is an array. Okay, you can simply get it using the name of the field. Okay, for each file, you can get the name of the field. With the name of the field, you can just get it. Will you do that? Create a good, this is definitely not a good form. I agree. Okay, create a good looking form. Okay, tomorrow, I think in the CC, you will have user profile uploading. You will have to upload user profile picture and then display the same in the UI as well, similar to how we displayed, right? Similar to how we display, profile data, right? Product data I showed you, fetch it from the client. Similar to that, you should also fetch the uploaded data from the client and then show it in the page.
On the same page.
Yeah, yes, on the same page or a different page, your wish, how you want it to design. But you should make a client request like this. And that's the reason I also showed you this one. Okay, you should upload and then retrieve the data. Both should be done.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, easy, everyone understood? You have plenty of modifications. Yes, it's already 11. One of you were crying yesterday in the feedback to end the class at 10, 11 itself. Yes, 1 or 2 days only it will go beyond 11. Sorry for that. I'll make sure it doesn't continue. Okay. In the Malta framework, go and explore. I have covered most of the things. In the API, if you can see here, everything is given. You can also limit the size. Okay, read about all this. File filter I showed you. Read this, all three I explained. Okay, read about none, any, all these, read about that. Okay, explore limits, also explore. Try to restrict the file size the user is uploading. If there is more size, try to eliminate that. Try to send an error. Understood? Okay, let's add an MCQ. I will quit the class quickly. Yeah. Any doubts guys so far? If you have interest, go explore express file upload library, multi-party library. Everything is doing the same job. Yeah, but it is there. Added for Baba batch, third MCQ. Doing it for Tata as well. Can we expect that you can do a gallery project and all? Every time a user keeps uploading an image in in his or her gallery, all the image should be rendered as Instagram. Can we expect that you can do that one? Is it doable now that you know how to handle file data? Everyone, if you are not even responding, like at least in the chat, you can. Okay. Yeah, I have added the MCQ to Tata batch. Third MCQ done. Fourth MCQ, I'm just copy pasting it. I was asking, like, let's say, can you build an application where a user keeps on uploading photo, and then whenever the user uploads, you display them in the file, multiple files, a gallery kind of an application. Yeah, that's just a project which you can work on with these files. A user can upload multiple files or single file, both you should handle. CC is one part. If you have interest, you can explore on this as well. Okay, add a fourth MCQ for Baba batch, created attendance as well. Okay, Tata batch, yes, I'm doing. Tomorrow, we will see, as of now, if you see here, as of now, we are storing it in our server only, right? You
Yeah, ma'am.
cannot, if the file size is huge, you cannot store all these public, all these static files in the server and make your server heavy. Okay, you need to store it in CDN or any other external hard disk or somewhere, any cloud platform where you can access them every time. Okay, we will see, as part of that, we will see how to upload it in Cloudinary platform. Okay, any cloud thing you can upload. We will see that tomorrow. Added a fourth MCQ for Tata batch as well, attendance created. The reason is, yeah, if you see here in the public folder, I'm storing it in my server. Okay, let's say multiple people are uploading files. Okay, and you keep on increasing the server size. You cannot, your server code itself, your entire code itself will become heavy. Okay, you cannot simply store that in a server like this. Okay, you should store it in some cloud platform. Okay, and then you can later retrieve it. These are all static data, right?
That's why we store it in DB. Mostly.
Yeah, DB, yeah, in production, what happened, that is why we have this image URL set, right? So in the DB, you will just store it as a string. You will store the URL as a string. So whenever you need that data, you just get that Cloudinary URL or the cloud platform URL where you store this data. And then you have that URL stored in your database. You don't store the files itself. Okay, you cannot store files and all in the database. Okay, you can store only the URL as a string in the database. So later you can fetch that data from your cloud platform. Understood? That's what we are going to see tomorrow. Okay, work on Multer. Yes, others, if you are leaving, good night, have a good day. Good sleep. Okay. Any other doubts? Others? Srinivas, Sudhakar, Bhavan, Rahul, any doubts? Adil, Ganga, Bhushan, Amanjot. Is it clear? Is the concepts clear? Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
18th holiday is there?
I don't think so. I haven't received any information, any announcement from. Yeah, if
No,
you have
ma'am.
got the announcement, you should
No,
have
ma'am.
not asked this question in the first
Yeah.
place. Yeah, understood, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll get that information tomorrow.
Good night, ma'am.
Yeah, good night, Abhishek.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night, Ada. Good night. Yeah. Good night. Srihari, Nileshwar, any doubts? Srinivas, Bhushan, any doubts? Pradeep? No? Okay, good night, Pragya. No doubts? Srihari, Bhavan, can we end the class then? Bhushan, Pradeep? Okay, I think they are not there in the class. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
There? Okay, okay. I'm ending the class there. Good night. See you tomorrow.